I've grown up being a victim of this pretty much my whole life. And
True.
that's people pleasing.
Yeah.
Just don't have the words for it today, man. I just gotta admit it. Growing up thinking that I gotta please people.
Yeah.
If other people are happy, I'm happy.
Mhm.
And then the constant pursuit of just that.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Why do you think people do it? Why did you do it?
For me, it was always coming across as a nice, kind person and making sure everyone was happy.
Mm.
Not everyone's gonna be happy.
Mm.
And I can't control what other people are gonna think. Like my version of happiness and your version of happiness are two different things.
Correct.
So I'm almost self-sabotaging myself
Yeah.
and trying to meet an expectation I've got no understanding of.
Mhm.
And that's what I would do. I would constantly try and figure out how do I fix this to make this person happy. But at the end of the day, they're just having a crap day.
Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with you.
There's nothing to do with me.
There's nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we do this?
Every mountain is climbed one step at a time, and every great journey begins with a single stride. We're here to help you realize your true potential, one conversation at a time.
Remember, cathedrals weren't built overnight, but they were built by laying one brick at a time. And today, we're laying those bricks together.
Prepare to break through the barriers of the ordinary with laughter as our compass and knowledge as our guide. Let's explore the extraordinary.
Because living with positivity isn't just an act, it's an art. And we're here to help you master it.
So tune in, turn up the volume, and get ready to transform your life and make the 1% shift with The Human Now. Yeah, yeah. The boys are back, baby.
It's about bloody time.
How you been, my man?
Been very well. Yourself?
I've been good.
Been good?
It's my, I like to use my favorite B word. Busy.
Yes.
So,
I gotta say, I'm thoroughly disappointed.
why?
I'm a little angry, if I can be frank, because when I turn up to a podcast,
Yeah.
you know, there's certain things that you expect.
Oh, man. I think I know
And
what's coming.
For this guy not to be wearing yellow,
It's just a little change.
I don't know. Why are we even here? Why are we bothering with this? Explain yourself.
I don't know, just trying something new. You know, sometimes you got to grow up, but at the same time, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. Just trying something new.
Okay.
The positivity is still there and the yellow is still going to be there.
Yep.
It's just nice to have a bit of variation.
Fair enough.
And like, sometimes, you know, Superman didn't always get into his Superman outfit to
Yeah,
save
but
the world.
he also wasn't Superman then.
No.
Anyway, I guess you can't enjoy the light without the darkness.
Exactly. You know, and that's not to say that I don't feel happy and positive right now. Like, we're doing the check-in,
Yes.
all right?
Okay.
Morale check.
Let's do it.
And so I feel like I'm still at like a 9. I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Positivity is still happening.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. But
But yeah, it's just nice to try something new. I mean, the tracksuit will come back. It's not gone.
Yeah.
Still love putting it on. It's just got to give it a breather.
yeah.
You know?
Fair enough.
Gotta.
What do you gotta do, bro?
Want the people wanting more. Gotta leave the people wanting more.
Oh my God.
There we go. Got
a
it.
disaster.
We got it.
Okay. Cool.
And where are you at?
I'm
How you feeling?
I'm probably about a 9 as well.
I've shaken you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little unsettled. I
Gotta
was
keep you on the edge.
I was
you
a
know?
10, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
and then I
wow.
came in, then I didn't see the
Wow.
yellow.
Whoa.
And I was
Dropped
like,
your
oh,
whole
mate.
point?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I had that impact on you.
Yeah. It's the yellow. Yeah, man.
All right. Wow.
No, I'm sitting at a 9. I'm excited to be back
Mhm.
finally in the
Yeah.
room. Little wary about I think I'm a little more conscious right now because there's been so much of a break.
Yeah.
Of what's happening right now and 3 cameras pointing in my face.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's where the muscle memory kicks in, the groove
absolutely.
kicks in.
Yeah.
You know, we just roll into it.
For sure. I mean, I was never good with morale check or gratitude, the order of things, but so thanks for stepping in there.
All good.
Should we
Speaking
go
of
into gratitude?
Yes.
Akash, tell me, what are you feeling grateful for?
I thought about this and I think it just hit me today. I sat down with someone and I was talking to them, and I've known them for a very long time. They've been very influential in my life. And to be able to sit there and have that conversation at this point in time that I couldn't have had, at the beginning, kind of just helped me to kind of reflect on where I am in the journey.
Yeah.
So today I'm grateful for the real ones. The people who are there to make you, who are there not to make you, I have to say, who are there to help you and guide you to becoming the person you are and want to be.
Nice.
So that's me.
Excellent. Does this person get a shout out or?
Let's keep it as a mystery.
Nice.
How about yourself, man?
Look, man, I was gonna come in, like I said, I was sitting. No, I'm kidding. I'm feeling grateful for. Again, I think we come back to this like every other week or every second or third week, but the space, not being in here for a while has been different. Then coming back is a little bit,
Yep.
So we're going to stumble a little bit and a little bit, but like you said, the muscle memory kicks in. I'm just grateful that we can have these conversations. I'm grateful for you being here to be able to have a conversation with.
Yep.
So I'm feeling really grateful for the space and for the 3 people that are listening as well.
Definitely.
I'm feeling grateful for my body as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've over the years I've never been very kind.
No.
And now I'm paying a little bit more attention to it. And just, seeing what my body is capable of, seeing how it's able to repair itself.
Yep.
I'm just very grateful for this skin of flesh and bones.
Yep.
That I get to live my life through.
I'm going to match you, man.
Yeah.
Because I got to agree. I feel like just bringing some like context to the story around, was it November last year? You pulled in the habits into the group.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of set the tone or has helped to set the tone. And like every day I'm still striving to get my 10,000 steps in. And that's just transformed my whole day, my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you, man, I'm feeling grateful for the body and what the body can do.
Yep.
And you just start with one small thing and then it's like a snowball.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I can do this. What can I add on to it?
Correct.
I feel like trying to do everything all at once, it's hard. But just waking up, getting out for a walk, it's like, cool, I've ticked something off my list. What else can I do?
Perfect. Yeah. And I think you've started to see the benefits not only for your body, but for your mental space as well, right?
Big time. It's the me time.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is so important.
Yeah.
Which also brings us a little bit, kind of segues nicely.
Look at this guy. He's back in the flow, baby.
Today's topic. What are we talking about?
I've grown up and been a victim of this pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
And
True.
that's people pleasing. Just don't have the words for it today, man. I just gotta admit it. Growing up thinking that I gotta please people.
Yeah.
And that if other people are happy, I'm happy. And then the constant pursuit of just that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Why do you think people do it? Why did you do it?
There's 2 parts to it.
Yeah.
I think it's important to always look at the external and the internal.
Of course.
And I think externally, you want to, like for me, it was always coming across as a nice, kind person and making sure everyone was happy. Like for me, and that's what when I used to talk about positivity was happiness and smiley and
Yep.
that attitude, and boom, boom, 100, 100, 100, 100.
Yep.
And I think what we've come to learn over the journey is that positivity isn't that, and happiness isn't that, you know, and so like not everyone's gonna be happy,
Mm.
and I can't control what other people are gonna think.
Yep.
Like my version of happiness and your version of happiness are two different things.
Correct.
So I'm almost self-sabotaging myself
Yeah.
and trying to meet an expectation I've got no understanding of,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that's what I would do. I would constantly try and like figure out how do I fix this to make this person happy. But at the end of the day, they're just having a crap day.
Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with you.
There's nothing to do with me.
There's nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah. And so my whole identity and value system, self-esteem, and this is where it kind of comes into the internal, is like, I want to come across as a happy and positive person who's kind to other people, and I'll do anything
No matter what.
for them,
Yeah.
you know, at the cost of what?
Mm.
You know, and when you don't deliver and meet that expectation, then man, I feel like the greatest failure.
Yep.
And I think what I kind of experienced, and it wasn't until like you have that like light bulb moment where it clicks, where it's like, how many times?
Yeah.
You know, and then you just become a doormat.
Can you, if you feel comfortable, without going into details, can you share what that light bulb moment was? Or what it felt like?
Yeah, it's only as recent as November.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I spent the whole year just like being guilty of not being productive and doing things. And that was a measure on like the happiness I thought I'd receive from someone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be just like up and wired and, you know.
Understood. Yep.
I'd be doing stuff.
Yeah.
At stupid times.
Yeah.
You know, and the constant need to think that I needed to like serve
Mm-hmm.
in multiple aspects of my life. I would just say, yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing this,
Yeah.
I'm doing this, I'm doing this
Yep.
to like, and I'm giving everyone a piece of me.
Yeah. There's nothing left for yourself.
And it's like, bro, like, what are you doing? You know, and the more I kept saying yes, like the harder it is to keep up. And then you start missing deadlines, times,
Yeah.
you know, people are relying on you.
Correct.
And then you just become unreliable.
Yeah.
And so actually, like in November, I was like, nah, like everyone else is sleeping at 5 o'clock in the morning. Why am I up like busting my ass trying to, you know, cram everything into my day?
Yep.
And like the cost of that is my health, my own sanity, and me being able to go and make me a better me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like just give time to my body, time to my mind to just stop and look at the world. Like everything we learned from Swamiji when he was here, and he's talking about just take 10 minutes to go walk outside.
Yep.
Everything we talked about, like if you can't have 10 minutes for yourself.
You don't have a life.
Exactly. And I think that realization just hit last year, November. And after getting a taste of it, I'm like, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why that morning time now is like, it's so, it's sacred.
Yeah.
Because, and I notice like there's days where I'm not going to have that and I'm tired and stuff, but I still make time to like go for a walk in the evening, or, you know, that space is still there. But that's like that, oh man, just becoming protective of my time now, of that little moment,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's okay to start saying no.
Yep.
Because then I can, now I've been able to like give my full attention, and like I'm still working on it.
Mm.
There's still times when I'm talking to people and I'm not like fully present yet. Because that's the other thing. Like if you say yes to all these people, you're like constantly thinking.
Yeah.
So when you're not present in the room, like you're like, you're like just on autopilot, and you just keep talking, and you're like your brain just goes yeah, but really you haven't processed or understood anything, and especially
you're mentally somewhere else as well.
Yeah, and when you're thinking, when someone's talking to you about specific dates and times, and what's happening, like that stuff just goes over your head, you know. So I think that's why
today a special guest is Jasmita on the podcast to talk about.
Yes. No, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of been my learning.
Yeah.
Is when you start saying no, and you're not a bad person when you say no.
Yeah.
Because you have to set boundaries.
Correct.
And the real ones know, like you know who the real ones are when you can say no, and they love you for saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I've written down is being able to set boundaries without guilt.
Yeah.
You know, and learning to say no is essentially focusing on your well-being.
Yeah. Which
you've 100% done. I've been witness to that. I think it's been so cool to see you being so religious about your time in the morning. And then from that, you've been able to then see essentially the bigger picture of what life should be and can be.
Big time.
Rather than being, you know, in the day-to-day.
Yep.
Running in a million different directions.
Because even like thinking about that big picture game, right? So up until now, I've always just thought I got to be present.
Yeah.
You know, and my focus and thoughts are like here. But actually big picture game, I still want to be doing this when I'm 50, 60, 70 years old. You know, like we're not talking about intensity. We're just talking about being able to be mobile and healthy and be able to be here to have a conversation, you know, and that starts with just getting good sleep and going for a walk, exercising. And it's just game changer.
For sure. And that's the physical side of things. But even mentally, right? By you starting to say no to things, you're making life more sustainable, right? You're not worrying about approval.
Yep.
Now you're starting to focus on contribution and being, you know, having meaningful impact.
Yep.
Because you're not running, like I said, a million different directions. You can start to focus on things that, one, focus on yourself. And by focusing on yourself, then everything you touch becomes better, right?
Yep.
So I think in your case, I've seen, you know, change almost immediately.
Yep.
It was almost like a lot of guilt had left.
Big time.
Had come off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Had left your mind. And you were okay to say no. I was like, who is this guy? But I then, you know, because to me, it came as a bit of a surprise to me as well.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's not who you are, right? And so it was
when was this?
I won't say specifics.
Yeah.
We can talk about it after. Nothing to do with me. It was just me watching from the outside.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it was. It must have been that time.
Yeah.
You know, and then you stopped to do a couple of things, and I was like, this is really weird for Akash. And I even telling Akshay, like, he's saying no to this and no to that. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it all made sense when I was able to stand back and see what is actually going on. So super important from that point of view. Absolutely.
Yeah. You don't need to be the hero.
Yeah.
To be the hero, stop being the hero.
You don't need to be the hero to everyone else. You need to be a hero in your own life.
Yeah.
I think it's time to stop, and we've talked about this multiple times, stop looking externally, whether it's validation or for energy or anything like that.
Yep.
It's time to be internal, and it's okay to be selfish. As horrible as that word is. I think looking for validation from the outside is always going to be a losing game. Always.
And that's what is a symptom of wanting to please people.
Correct. Exactly.
Is wanting
that's what I'm saying.
Self-validation.
Correct. but you're always going to lose.
Yeah.
If you get it, it's temporary.
Yeah.
So why bother?
And again, what keeps hitting me time and time again is exactly what Swamiji said when he was here, is impact over influence.
For sure.
You know, like when you're trying to please people, it's that expectation and you want to have influence over them, but you can't.
Yep.
But when you turn inward and focus on yourself, you can create serious impact.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And again, what Swamiji said was that then you start to live in alignment with your, your true values, your true potential, and you're going to have impact. That's undoubtedly going to happen. But when we're out there trying to chase validation or smiles or a compliment here and there, you're not living true to yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you
I think
suffered the path? And how I don't know, when did you click, or what's the journey been like for you?
Yeah, I think again, we've talked about this in the past as well, where I'm very comfortable with cutting people out.
Yep.
Not to say that I don't give them time. It's more like I don't give them my energy.
Yep.
Like don't open up my energy to them. So I've been very. It's funny because sometimes it's so obvious to me that it's like so easy, and then there's times that we've talked about, not on the podcast, where it's like so obvious that I shouldn't be chasing that validation. I shouldn't be giving so much of myself and my time.
Yep.
So obvious to people close to me on the outside, but so, like not obvious and not clear to me. So I've come to those realizations easily, and I've come to those realizations through pain as well.
Yeah.
And it's, I think everything that you've said makes sense, and it's exactly how I feel.
Yep.
I was chasing something that was only going to ever be temporary.
Yep.
Chasing something that wasn't healthy for me. And it's hard to say without getting into details what that meant for me. But there was definitely a lot of guilt, like you felt.
Yeah.
But then when I was able to step back and realize, actually, no, need to focus on me and what I'm doing, I was able to let go of that guilt and see what is possible for me by then going internal and living true to my values.
Do you
and the reason, sorry to cut you off, the reason that it didn't happen in some relationships but happened in some relationships was, I see it so clearly now, is my level of confidence, right? My level of inner confidence and self-belief with that person.
Yes.
So it was how that person made me feel, or how I felt around that person, the dynamic of the relationship. And that was the reason when I didn't have confidence around this person,
yes,
I was able to be, that's when the people pleasing.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's insecurity, right?
Yeah. 100%.
When you're insecure about something.
Yep.
And when it's in relation to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when you
And
start getting frantic, desperate.
Correct.
Yes.
And
You start guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I'm coming from a place of like that, I wasn't able to set clear boundaries.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like, when I picture it, it's like a Jenga tower.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start pleasing people, you start like, it's the Jenga tower of happiness, right? And you're trying to keep it happy, but at the same time, you got to keep pulling stuff out to guess and help, and then boom, it's just gonna crumble, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just gonna say, do you feel like you please your kids, or have to try?
Do I feel like I have to please my kids? Not anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think we've got a pretty like no BS sort of relationship. do I feel like I please my kids?
Or have the need to?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, never.
Yeah.
No. Mm.
You know, because like it could, I don't know, come out of like guilt, time.
No. I think I've been very clear about how I want to be as a dad and what I want to be.
Yeah.
And obviously there's been times where, you know, you can't be the positive, light, friendly, funny character that you want to be. Shit happens, you get angry, all of that sort of stuff, right? But I've never felt that that I need to do that to them.
What about in family relationships?
Yeah. I think I've still got some of those relationships. But again, like I said, I'm very careful to open. I'll give you time, but I won't give you energy. I will not open up my energy. To people that I feel are not,
of course,
going to reciprocate.
And I think that's what we've said time and time again as well. Is that you don't give your happiness to other people to hold.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what this conversation is also about.
Yeah. And I think, and that's exactly what people pleasing is as well, right? It's like, okay, here,
take it.
Here's my happiness. Tell me you are happy with this gift of mine. And it's just a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
But we all do it. We all go through it.
So how do we recognize and break out of the cycle?
Someone's got to slap you, basically. I don't know. So like, I don't know. I feel like you're never going to win, right? I think the first thing is you've got to have a little bit of self-awareness to be able to realize that this is what you're actually doing, right? You could be hiding behind, I'm a positive guy.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Positivity, but in reality, I'm seeking validation.
Yep.
And so it's not until you have that realization or that self-awareness to go, actually, sometimes I just want time for myself.
Yep.
Sometimes I want to say no to you because it's taking away from other things that I want to be doing, from the people that I really want to be giving my time to, or leaving that time for myself. So I think self-awareness is a big thing. I feel like the easiest way to know if a relationship is a positive relationship or a negative relationship where you feel like you might become a victim of people pleasing is, does this person give you energy or not?
Yep.
I think.
What do you mean by that? What does giving you energy mean?
Well, I feel, I'd like to say, I think everyone has the experience of being around someone.
Yep.
And after having a conversation with them, you feel negative. You just feel drained of energy. Life is just sucked out of you, right?
Yeah.
I think, have you ever?
Yes.
Yep. This conversation right now?
Nah, man. This like, we're just doing a morale check right now, man. We're vibing at an all-time high.
Yep. So do you feel drained? I think that's like a very, very telltale sign of this person is sucking the life out of you.
Yep.
You don't need that in your life.
Yep.
And I would like to think that people have had a taste of that to then be able to recognize that in relationships going forward. I think we've always said it's important to do a self-audit.
Yes.
You know, if you feel like you might be a people pleaser, I think people are aware as well. Just a side note, I think people know that they're a people pleaser. You just don't want to admit that you're a people pleaser.
Yes.
So if you can admit to yourself with a little bit of awareness, then, look at the people in your life, look at the people around you and say, am I getting energy from this person or are they sucking the life out of me? Am I, and it's physical things as well.
Yeah.
I remember feeling physically exhausted and mentally like effed.
Yeah.
Just like talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that in that sense, it's obvious.
Right.
But then you got to go take that step forward and go, okay, actually, this is a me problem.
Yeah.
I can't blame this person. And I put no blame on anyone else external. Yeah. So I think that's what people can do to start to recognize that sort of behavior in themselves.
I've got a few things.
Yep.
I've got like just taking time to reflect.
Yeah.
Reflect on the day. And I think the test of it comes from your gauging your level of happiness and how the day went. You know, when you start reflecting on it, because there's, like you said, there's going to be people know when they're doing it.
Yeah.
But also it might be out of not wanting to cause inconvenience to others. And so you just let things pass.
Yep.
And so just taking time to like come to the realization of testing out your relationships and having a bit of courage, being a bit brave to know, like, if I say no, then I believe enough in this relationship for that person to
respect
it.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then okay, like, you got to do something about it.
Yep.
It's either for you or it's not.
For sure.
You know, but you can't just keep going on because then you're just going to become that doormat. And yeah, I just think you got to have that time to reflect.
Yeah.
And have a bit of bravery and courage.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
That self-belief, you know?
Yeah.
Stand on your own.
Exactly. That self-confidence, that, you know, like you said, belief in yourself. So important. So important. Yeah. What else do you think? I think people have got an understanding of like some of the toxic people in their life as well.
Yes.
Right? I think you said something about being able to say no.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I reckon everyone could be able to name one person that they know who was a toxic person. Right? And then it's like, okay, am I giving time to this person? Am I giving energy to this person? And if I am, then why am I doing it?
Yep.
And what does that mean for me? Giving this person time and energy and effort. And then what does life look like without having that energy in my life? I think that's probably a easy way to start. Everyone could probably tell you there's one person that's like toxic who's...
It's usually the person you say you can deal with them in small doses. Because really you can't. You're just saying that.
Yeah.
It's usually that person.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
I was also going to say, like it's that scaffold and pillar kind of relationship, you know, where if you're constantly scaffolding onto someone or they're onto you, you know, that's kind of like, that's a bit dangerous. It's not structurally sound.
Yep.
When you're the pillar, you're strong.
Yeah.
They're strong.
Yep.
And those are the types of relationships you want to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. And you want to have relationships with other pillars as well. You don't want to be that for someone else as much as you don't want that person to be that for you.
Yeah.
That's not to say you don't lean on them in hard times, not to say you don't, you know, you're not vulnerable and open up and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's not you giving them everything, your happiness, your sanity, and all of that for them to then hold and almost control you with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get rid of the toxic people in your life. Yeah. And then, so I think that's probably a good place to start, right? Is like, you 100% know these are the people that I don't want in my life. Again, they might be family, they might be people who you're associated with that you can't completely cut out. That's completely fine. That's where you then, you know, give them your time, but don't give them your energy. Don't give them your happiness. That. Yeah.
Give them your time, not your energy.
Yeah. So I think that's probably step one, is get rid of those people first, or cut yourself off emotionally, energetically from those people, and then have the self-awareness, have the time to reflect, to then look at those relationships that you feel are a little bit 50-50 or energy draining, and then start to work through the process with those relationships.
And the real ones will stay.
The real ones will always be there. Always. 100%. Can I share this little study that I came across?
Before you do,
Yeah.
going back to Dr. Seuss.
Yep.
Those who mind don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And those who
Matter. Don't mind.
don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
So this is a paper study that was published in 2004.
Yeah.
From the University of Utah.
Is that still valid? You know, I feel like 2004 was just like yesterday. But keep going. Sorry. Keep going. It's valid. It's valid. It's definitely valid.
I mean, human experience and human psychology doesn't really change, does it?
No.
Anyway.
What I was just implying
I'll
is that it's just yesterday.
I'll let you to validate.
Actually, it's 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
That's all I was trying to make out. Keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this says that ambivalent relationships cause more stress than clearly negative ones. So ambivalent meaning those were sort of on the fence.
Shaky tails.
Yeah. Right? So those ones that you're unsure of, whether they're good or bad, right? So it's saying that those relationships actually cause more harm to you than the ones that are toxic. So a study published 2004 by these people, we'll put it in the show notes anyway.
Yeah.
Found that relationships with inconsistent support created higher levels of stress and cardiovascular strain than relationships that are constantly negative. Right?
Yep.
That's crazy. That's great. You would think it's the complete opposite.
Yes.
So the unpredictability of ambivalent relationships lead to a heightened vigilance and emotional exhaustion. Everyone's felt that. As the brain is constantly trying to anticipate the next interaction. You're like, you know that you're on edge as soon as you're going to go see this person.
Do you remember when I was telling you about this? And my whole neck seized up.
Yes.
That's this.
Yep. Exactly. So research found that ambivalent relationships led to prolonged stress responses, including higher blood pressure and increased cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone is linked to long-term health problems. The mental toll of uncertainty. So this is another one, 2017, a little bit more.
All right,
recent
here we
for
go.
you.
Yeah.
Suggested that people in ambivalent relationships experience more emotional distress, anxiety, and depression compared to those in relationships that are clearly negative. And the unpredictability creates mental fatigue, which makes it harder to set emotional boundaries. This is everything that we've talked about as well.
So you're better to stay in a negative relationship
Wow.
than in context
of this study.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Should you stay in them? No.
Don't be an EP, man.
Don't be an EP. So yeah, it's just saying that, you know, toxic relationships, you know where you stand in those relationships.
Yeah.
Right? You know that I don't want anything to do with this person. Easy. But it's those relationships that are like, well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, are the ones that keep you on your toes, the ones that keep your cortisol levels high, your stress hormones high. And it's like that constant stress. And everyone in the world knows that constant stress is obviously not good for your health, not good for your health long term. So yeah.
How long do you want to bear the burden? How long do you want to drag the chain until you get tired?
Yeah.
Because it's on you, right?
It is. It is 100% on you. It's unfortunate that people will hold on to that burden, bear that burden for their whole life sometimes.
Yes.
And I think it's something that I found a lot in our communities.
Yeah.
You know, you can't upset anyone.
No.
You can't.
The reputation.
Yeah, there's all that reputation. What will people think? All of that sort of stuff comes into play. You can't call anyone out for, you know, being a bad person. You can't even distance yourself from that person because then that looks bad to these people and these people, and it's messed up. And it's an unfortunate part of our communities, which hopefully with the generations to come, it starts to change.
Yep.
It's okay to focus on yourself. It's okay to worry about yourself and your family. It's okay to let go of people who do not bring you joy, who are energy draining. It's okay to focus on yourself It's okay to think about yourself. Just let it go. I don't think the implications of in the long-term issues is worth it ever.
No.
Ever. So don't be an EP.
The price of your happiness,
Yeah.
Why would you put a price on it?
Yeah. Yeah. So just, let them go. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add? Yeah. So I think just to round up, I think the first thing we said is look at those people that you know are 100% toxic and start to
weed them out.
It's okay to give them your time. Don't give them your energy. Then look at those relationships that you feel drained in or drained from any interactions with those people. And start to say no.
Be brave. Share your opinion. Say how you feel.
Correct. Yeah.
The real ones will understand.
100%. Yeah.
And if they don't deserve your time.
Correct. Yeah. So take that time to reflect.
Yeah.
Become aware of what's going on in within you and around you.
Yeah.
And focus on you and the real ones, like you said.
Because you deserve it, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, man.
Where the vibes at, bro?
The vibes are at a 12.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel my vibes are high, but my energy is probably not giving that because I like feel angry when we talk about these sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because people just suffer.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate seeing people suffer.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say it's easy because I've been there.
Yeah.
But to not do anything is stupidity. Yeah. Yeah. And holding on to that guilt is harmful.
It's interesting you say that because I'm so charged up.
Yeah.
And like, as well as for myself, these people in my life that I wish sometimes I could just shake.
Yeah.
And say, just come on, just wake up.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep doing this. Like just do it for you, baby.
Yeah. That's it, man. I feel like everything that we talk about on this podcast, we can cut this out. There's like a reflection for myself. I think everything that we talk about on this podcast is like so intertwined, right? To be able to sit here and talk about people pleasing, but then talk about our episode with Swami G, and to have that intertwined, right? For us to be able to say, the reason that you need to stop doing this is so you can focus on those important things over there is pretty amazing. And we reflect on things that, like we talked about the scaffold and pillar and all of these things is like so intertwined and like there's no, like this is all actually like it's one straight line, you know? And it's like we're all striving for this one thing. And it's like we got to clear the path of little things like people pleasing and all that sort of bullshit to then get through to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy,
angry.
eh?
I feel angry. I feel angry at myself for falling victim to that, having known some of this stuff. But I'm also compassionate knowing that I'm on the journey and I'm learning as well. And then again, I feel angry that there's people, like you said, that you just want to shake and be like, what the F are you doing? But then the other side of that coin is that compassion for saying, you're on that journey as well. And you've got to go through it yourself for your own. And I just hope that this is, the first domino for someone to get out of some toxic, nasty relationships.
100%. If you're sitting in the car listening, if you're lying on the couch watching, if you've used this as an escape to get away from some EP,
Yeah.
then, you know, like, I think this is what that the built up energy is
Yeah.
that it's actually turning the energy of like the anger and it's passion.
It is. It is.
You know, turning that passion and channeling that passion into this.
Yep.
Like, I think because we care so much about wanting to see, and it's funny because we started this episode talking about wanting to make other people happy. And the reason we're here
Is to make other
is
people happy.
to make other people happy.
Yeah. But we're not dependent on
It's
it,
not,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But I hope the passions come across of
Yeah.
how much we care
Yeah.
about wanting to see people realize their true self and happiness that is already there within. That's what we want.
Yeah. And we just hate seeing people suffer. I think that's, I mean, for me, I'm sure for you as well. I just hate when it's so clear, so obvious to the people on the outside. Yeah, I just hate seeing people having to go through something that they actually don't have to.
Yeah.
So reach out if you need a chat. Yeah. Anyway.
That's it.
That's it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just love to everyone listening.
Yeah. Be kind to yourself.
Love to you, man. That
Love to
was the energy.
Yeah.
Gave it our all.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be mindful, be kind to yourself. Know that no one loves you like you. And you deserve the best.
Until next time,
Be
be human, be now.